Well, I didn't have anything to do today, so I decided to make a workshop paper towel holder. I'm going to use some of this PVC pipe. It's just a little bit longer than the piece of towel here. And I left it a little bit longer because what I'm going to do, I've got this foam stuff and I put a hole in the middle that's just going to slip onto the end of here so I can slide it on. That way it's going to come up against the end of the paper towel and stop it from freewheeling. You know how when you roll one off and you get 4 or 5 of them? I like to prevent that from happening. It's hardly worth making these. They're pretty cheap to buy, but I had nothing to do today, so what the hell. I've already made the ends for this. Now these ends are about 12 thousandths bigger than the hole in the middle of the pipe here. And they should press in okay. If they don't, we'll just heat it up a little bit, and they will. And this part here on the end is just a shoulder. It could be any size. It could be a lot bigger, not too much smaller, because you don't want it to press in and get lost inside. And we've drilled and tapped some 1/4 holes in each of these 2 end pieces. So we're going to try to put this together now, and our ends that will protrude up is going to hang underneath the shelf. So I have some of this stock here, and we'll measure that and tell you how big it is, but that's going to kind of go from the end here, and then we'll bend it over so we've got an L shape and a couple of holes in this end. We'll hold it underneath the shelf. So we'll just check on the size of that for you. So these are 1 1/4 wide by 1/8 thick. And we still have some work to do on those yet. We're about to bend this now. We've got the 2 holes here, which are the clearance holes for the 1/4 screws at each end. And back here, we've got screw holes that are going to go into the underside of the shelf. So right now we're just going to press this and get a 90-degree bend, or hopefully very close to a 90-degree bend on these. Well, that might be it. I like to, if I'm going to make a mistake, have it not be far enough pressed, because I can always put it back in and press it, whereas the other way around, it's a little bit more difficult to get everything to go back where it was. So there's our 2 pieces, our end pieces, and I did have to put them back in and press them a little bit more because we weren't quite on the 90. All right, I have it assembled now. And we do have the right clearance underneath, I'd say, just by a fraction. And we have a little bit of a problem with it being too long. So you have a I have an open space here. So this can move, and I wanted this to actually put pressure on the roll so it's not as easy to turn. So I will have to find something to slide in here, a little bit bigger piece of foam or anything will do, just to create a little bit of pressure so it doesn't spin off the reel. Other than that, it's looking good. I think I'm going to paint these ends so they look a little bit nicer, maybe round off a couple of corners and find something to put in here. And once we get it mounted, we'll take a picture of that. Well, we've got it mounted. We found a small plastic washer to put on the end to apply a little bit more pressure so it doesn't reel off by itself. You do have to undo both screws at each end to change the towels, but roll of towels is going to last me at least a couple of months. I'm not worried about that. And when you pull down on it, you can rip it off and it doesn't keep on unreeling. So that's going to work fine for me.